Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you. I have a great hot topic for you tonight. My topics are going to get hotter and hotter day by day, night by night. So put your seatbelt on. We're going to get some real conversations on. So tonight, I want to bring something to your attention. Hold on. I'm going to get excited. This is so important that we cannot ignore this. All right. So it wasn't too long ago that you would run down to the store, to Bluckbuster, and get yourself a DVD, right? And come on home and put it in and play the movie, if you would, right? But before I go into that, some of the things that have replaced the old stuff, it's been like it totally would make sense, right? It makes sense, but yet it wasn't there, right? Does that make sense? So let's say, for example, the whole Blockbuster thing and Netflix, for example. You know what? I'm gonna put a pause for a second. I was talking to somebody today, and he was asking me about his stammering, his stuttering, and he was going so fast with his thoughts, and I told him, just stop, pause for a second, and just slow down your mind, right? Forget about your speech, slow down your mind. So since I've been stuttering for a little bit, it's been a few nights that I've been stuttering more. So I got to practice my own preaching. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to slow my mind because I have a hot topic. I'm very excited to share this. And it's just something that I haven't shared before to this extent. And I'm very excited to share it. So I'm going to slow down my thoughts, my mind. And this is how I do it. I have to slow down my mind. Okay. So this whole example between Netflix and Blockbuster, right? It seems like it would make sense. It would make total sense that you could, with your remote on your couch, you could just flip the channels or just kind of pick a movie and watch the movie right there, and without you getting out of the house, getting in your car, going to the store, parking, getting inside, picking the movie, standing in line, paying for it, going back home, playing it, and then bring it back in 2 days and returning it. It would make total sense that you would sit at home and click, and there's the movie. But yet, it took so long, and when Netflix wanted to disrupt Blockbuster model, if you would, everybody said, what, wait? Get movies from home and not have to go to the store? That doesn't make any sense. But yet now that it's here, it makes total sense. You wouldn't have it any other way. You would not get up right now. You would not, there's no way you would get out of your couch, put some clothes on, go to the store, get a movie, come back. You wouldn't do that. Doesn't make any sense. Right? But yet that transition was tough to accept. Right? Now that's just one example. let's say what happened to the cab industry, right? The taxis. Remember those days that you would have to get out of the conference or the hotel room or the restaurant all drunk, standing by the sidewalk and kind of trying to catch somebody's attention with a yellow car that happens to say taxi on top of it so that they could drive you wherever you're supposed to go and pay them. And you'd have to wait there, whether it's raining or it's snowing or it's sunshine, nighttime, cold, windy, it doesn't matter, right? You would wait there and somebody would snag your taxi and you'd get ticked off. But it would make total sense that you could use your phone and just have somebody drive by, pick you up, and exactly as they are driving to you, you know exactly where they are and how long it's going to be before they get to you. So guys, if it's freezing outside, like it was in Utah this weekend, I stayed inside until it was 1 minute away, and I stepped outside and there was the car. It would make total sense, right? It would make total sense that that would be the case. Why on earth would we get out of the airport and go out there in that crazy, busy street, waiting for a yellow car, taxi cab, to come get us when we can do it over the phone, on our phone, right? It would make total sense. But the transition, it was like impossible. No way. When they asked Henry Ford, right? He said, if I asked people what they wanted, they would say faster horses. Okay, repeat that quote like a gazillion times in your head. See, because if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. If I had asked people what they would have wanted, they would have said faster horses. Faster horses. Faster of what you already have, because you can't see the future, the car. Now, today, it makes total sense. Why would you would you go to the store with a horse? Unless you're in a rural area. It makes no sense, right? But back then, if he would have asked, they would have said faster horses, because nobody could see the cars that are coming, okay? Like a ton of these examples, right? Airbnb, I'll give you another one. Airbnb, right? Why on earth would somebody buy a house and take it like chunks and rent it out to complete strangers from all over the world without them even being there? Why would they do that? And to make extra income, to have an online stream of income. Why would they do that? Right? Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they utilize the system in place? Airbnb came in and without any like hotels or anything, took over, man. Uber came, Lyft came, Netflix came, all these guys came and they changed the game. They disrupted the model of how we rent a movie. They disrupted the model of how we get a cab or a ride home. They disrupted the model of how we rent a room to travel. They disrupted those models. And now those same disruption models make total sense. Okay, in fact, you wouldn't have it any other way. If I told you right now, all right, that's it. We're going to take away all Uber, all Lyft, since all you kids and girls and boys have been complaining about, oh my goodness, Uber this, Uber that, Lyft this, Lyft that. We're going to take everything away and we're going to do it the old way with the yellow cab. How many of you would vote for that? I bet you not a whole lot, right? The point I'm trying to make is this. I'll give you one last one because I put this in my title too. Anybody remember, this is one of my favorites, this is a Kodak moment. I know I'm dating myself way back, but do you remember that? This is a Kodak moment. Excuse me. I have a bunch of M&Ms. And I should not have. And now they're all in my throat. Sorry, excuse me. So, remember that? Now, they went to him, they said, hey, you know, this whole thing is going to change and it's going to go digital. It's not going to be the Kodak thing anymore. I think you should move with it. Don't ignore what's coming. Don't ignore the change. And what did they say? We're going to stick to our original model. We're cool. We're good to go. No. Now, do you even hear of Kodak? The pioneers in the photography industry. No. Why? Because they didn't embrace what's coming. They ignored the change. How many times have you ignored the change? How many times have you said to yourself, oh, if I could go, I should have. Like all these quotes that, what would you tell your younger self? The funny thing is, I'm going to tell you what the problem is with that quote. The funny thing is, you would tell that to your younger self, but you wouldn't tell that to yourself now because you think it's already too late. Think about what I just said. The things you would tell to your younger self today, you wouldn't tell to yourself today. You know why? You're making an excuse of not even telling that stuff to yourself today because you're thinking what? It's too late. Because you got to tell your younger self, oh, take more risks. Maybe you should take more risks now. Oh, you should live your life. Are you inside the grave? Maybe you should live your life now. And a ton more examples, right? The point is this. This is going to block your success. This has been blocking my success. And I'm going to come clean out of it, right? Come clean with it, right? You can't ignore the change. You can't ignore what's coming. You can't ignore the modifications. You can't ignore the disruptions. You can't. People don't buy from the mall anymore. Some people don't even know what mall is. Think about that, right? You can't ignore the change. You can't ignore the disruption of what's happening around us in all sections of our lives. You can't ignore that. If you do, I'm telling you, it's not going to be pleasant. It's going to be tough down the road. As a bunch of you know, I was in Utah this past week, and it was for the launch of Social Retail 2.0. Some of you guys are like, what the heck is Social Retail 2.0, right? Well, they're saying by 2025, let me just kind of pause there for a second. In case you forgot, it's 2022. That's like in 3 years, okay? 1, 2, 3 years. They say, experts say, by 2025, everyone, okay, let me like underline, bold, everyone will be involved in some kind of a side hustle, a side gig, or an online stream of income. Are you paying attention to this? We just established that you cannot ignore what's coming. You can't ignore the disruption. You can't ignore the fact that in California, gas is $6.79 a gallon. You can't ignore that. That's coming. It's going to get worse. You can't ignore that. You can just sit there and say, okay, well, you know, it used to be 50 cents back in the 20s. Well, it's not the 20s. You can't be ignoring all that. They're saying 2025, that's 3 years from today, everybody, that's including youth who is in denial, perhaps, that is saying, no way, you including that, because that's everybody, you including everybody, is going to be involved in some kind of an online stream of income. They're going to have a side gig. They're going to have something supplementing their income. Otherwise, you ain't going to make it. It's a fact. The fastest growing population right now, Google it, it's 85 and up. 85 and up is the fastest growing population right now. You got to decide, where are you in life right now? How old are you right now? Where are you? How far are you from, you feel me? From 85, you got enough reserves? Because they're saying that 97% of the people that retire, again, you can't ignore the disruptions, 97%, okay, will rely on friends and family and Social Security. I don't know about you, but my friends and family are not millionaires. They're not gazillionaires. They're not gonna be okay with like helping me, helping everybody else out. I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna work out like that. It's gonna be difficult, folks. By 2025, everybody's gonna have some kind of an online stream of income. Now, there are tons of choices out there, okay? But let me share with you one thing that is common with all the examples I gave you. And this is the heart of this whole thing. And I want you to pay really good attention here. We talked about Netflix. Netflix eliminated storefronts who had employees. Netflix eliminated storefronts who had employees, which means those people lost their jobs, and yet had more profit than storefronts. Why is that? Put a pause on that. Uber and Lyft. Uber and Lyft replaced those poor people that would stand aside with their yellow cabs, that would go to the station, pick up the cab, drop off their car, pick up the cab, come stand there for hours, try to get a customer and return back at home, okay? Replaced all of that. So it got rid of a lot of people with a job that would just drive a cab, that relied on somebody else's transportation to make money. And yet, Uber and Lyft are way more profitable than yellow cab industry. Let me put another pause on that. Airbnb. Airbnb replaced a lot of hotels and motels, which meant a lot of jobs got lost. Real talk, right? But yet, more profit. Why? Here's the reason why. This is the punchline, and you gotta catch this. You can't ignore the disruption. And here's the punchline. They all relied on customers. Customers. Customers is what makes everything profitable. You see, Netflix came in, replaced all the storefronts with all these customers who wanted to stay at home and at a click of a button wanted to have a movie on and call a friend to come over and let's Netflix and chill or whatever, right? Customers. Lyft and Uber. Customers. People love to go on their phone and do what? Get a car and wait 20 minutes and know exactly what color the car is, what kind of car it is, where they are. Of course, everybody would love that. Customers. Airbnb. How do they do it? Customers. It doesn't matter with anything else. They're not recruiting people. They're getting customers. And that's the secret sauce for the next online stream of income. You got to be able to get customers with whatever you're promoting, okay? Now, which brings me to Social Retail 2.0, which you're probably thinking, what the heck does that mean? Social Retail 2.0 is one online stream of income. It's one side hustle. It's a side gig. It's more than that though, right? Now, it may not be for you, but it may be for somebody who you know. And here's what it is, okay? It's a business that doesn't duplicate, but it replicates. Did you catch that? It's a business that does not duplicate, but it replicates. And here's the difference. Duplication means somebody needs to be there to actually have it duplicated. I got to duplicate me, right? What I do has got to be duplicated. But when it replicates, it means it does it by itself because it's system oriented. Are you paying attention here? You can't ignore the disruption, folks. It replicates because it does it by itself. It's a system oriented. It's a business that replicates. Okay? It's the simplest and the fastest way of earning an income online. Now, I did not say easiest or overnight. That's not what I said. I said it's simplest because it's system-based. It's very simple. It's simple and it's the fastest way. I didn't say it's going to take you 24 hours, right? If there was a fast way to make an income online, on your phone, as a side hustle, on the side, this would be the fastest way and simplest. Right? You can't deny the gig economy, folks. You can't. It's coming. You can't ignore the disruption. Right? Remember, later is a liar. Remember that. Later is a liar. It's right now. It's happening. Right? Now, It's like I said, it's something that may not be for you, but it may be for somebody you know, right? Now, what is so special about it? Remember about all the other ones that disrupted the model by customers? This is that next disruption in the online stream of income industry. This is, are you listening to this? This is a bold statement. This is a checkmate to all MLM companies. I'm telling you. This is the next generation. Now, that's exciting. That's like the Netflix of movie rental. That's like the Uber and the Lyft of, hey, can you get me a ride home because I'm drunk? That's kind of a thing. This is exciting stuff. You can't ignore the disruption. We just went through 2 years of, you would have never guessed a 2-year-old would walk into a grocery store with a mask on. Really? You would have never bought into that. But well, yeah, it happened. We went through it for 2 years, right? We ignored that disruption, and what happened? Can't ignore the disruption. Now, doesn't mean you're going to take action. Doesn't mean you're all over it. This is for you. No. But that doesn't mean you should ignore it. You know what I mean? It's worthy of your attention. It's a very important point. It's worthy of your attention. A business that replicates. It's an online stream of income. Side hustle. Besides what you do. It's the simplest and fastest because it's system oriented. And wait until you get some information from me. I'm telling you. This is really exciting. So why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you because I'm obviously, like, I think I may have shared this last month. I've relaunched my gig, right? My business, my online stream of income, my side hustle, whatever you want to call it, right? And I couldn't wait until what they were releasing this weekend for the 2.0 because they were just so much promoting this, right? They were just going crazy, and I was just like, ugh. And man, I got goosebumps like a couple of times when they were explaining this stuff. And for anybody who's ever been remotely, like even minutely, I'm going to give you 2 scenarios, okay? Even minutely ever open to saying, I wish there was a way I could somehow make some extra money, like on the side, on my phone, online, you know, just an extra stream of income. If anybody has ever remotely thought about that, or even if you've been super skeptical about all this stuff, even, let's call the big one, MLM, right? If you've even been super skeptical about this stuff, I'm telling you, this is worthy of your attention. Look, Kodak moment. You can't ignore the disruption. What this company is doing, what we are doing, is shaking the industry. It's truly disrupting the model of that online stream of income, of creating that online stream of income, the model of renting a movie. That model was disrupted. So you still rent a movie, but it's the way you do it now. this is the same thing. You still like to make some extra money online, but this is disrupting that model of how. Fastest and simplest. Not overnight and not easiest way of doing it, right? So, social retail 2.0. Big stuff. I'm good. I don't know how long I've been talking about, but I've been so excited about this and I've been holding back, but I've been so excited to talk about this. So we are a force to be reckoned with. We are about to do some big things, change some, let's call it situations, and just create some crazy news stories that are worth sharing, that somebody else on the other side is just dying to hear, man. You know, like your story. You got a crazy story, right? Somebody wants to hear it. But while you're stuck in the mud, nobody is excited about that story because you're not out of it yet. You may be looking for a way to get out of your mud that you're stuck in. Listen. Sorry. Social retail 2.0, my opinion, is truly is your answer. All you got to do is take a look at it, right? So let's wrap this up, right? Because of the pandemic, you have got to change things. You have got to pivot. And if that's the case, like I said, you can't ignore the disruptions in all areas of life, not just here. But remember, 2025, 3 years down the road, 3 years down the road, everyone is going to have some kind of a side hustle, on some kind of an online stream of income. And if you're not hopping on that bandwagon, you're ignoring the disruption. And that could be tough. That could make things really tough, right? And so, listen to me. If you are somebody that you want to look at this and you're excited about it, you're scratching your head, you're like social retail 2.0. Yes, I want to create an online stream of income. I want to do that. And I am open to taking a look at what you have chosen to do that for your life, Sean. So I'd like some info. I want some info in the comments below. Drop it in the chat if you're too shy. And I'll be more than happy to share that with you. If it's not for you, super duper, no problem. I don't really mind, right? But don't ignore the disruption, folks. Some of you, like me, have been praying for something like this, but we keep pushing back on all the signs. Stop doing that. Stop it. The good Lord is not going to like that and is not going to take that for too long. As much as you push back, one day it's all going to stop. So you got to stop. Stop pushing back on all the opportunities that knock on your door that could be the answer to your prayers, that keep you up at night. Nobody said it's going to be easy, right? But ignoring that disruption is very expensive, very expensive. Hashtag enough said. if you like info, ask for info. Drop it in the comments below. Send me a chat. I wish this was wider because I'm doing all this stuff. Send me a chat or just ask for info. All right, and I'll get it to you, and then we'll take it from there. But I'm telling you, don't ignore the disruption. Checkmate. Right? So with that, hopefully this has got your blood pumping. You got excited. You're fired up. And hey, I told you, this may not be for you, but it may be for somebody that you know. Share this with them. Tag them to this. Spread the love. Come on. Come on now. And then drop your thoughts below, even though if they're crazy and you think I'm crazy, drop your thoughts below. I'm all good with that. I got rhino skin, baby. Let's go. Let's go. So anyway, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, and some. Remember, if you share, you show that you care. Until tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.